Hi everyone, it's Sue. So I'm back today. I've been inspired by Gina at the Firefly Studio 67. I've admired her projects that she's used beeswax on for a little while now, and she did a tutorial not so long ago. I'll try and find that and link that down below. I've always wanted to experiment, but always thought it's going to be too messy and too hard, and she made it look so easy. So I thought I'm going to buy some beeswax pellets. So I just got the yellow natural, 100% natural beeswax. So that's them. And they smell absolutely beautiful. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to make some just very easy envelopes. These are so easy, and these have been done before, so it's nothing new. I haven't created it. For our journals. So what I've done here is I had a little bit of a play around. I couldn't wait when I first got the beeswax, so I just wanted to have a play around and see what it did. So I'm just going to share that with you today. You can see, let me put something underneath. It becomes quite transparent, not quite as transparent as what do you call it, like your vellum and that sort of thing, but and that's the back side. And I've just printed this onto white paper, and then I've just gone and dulled that down a little bit with some distress ink, vintage photo, just to sort of get rid of the white. It just sort of tones it in a little bit more. And that's the original. I just wanted to show you. So you can't see anything under that one, but you can see through that one. It's just beautiful. It feels beautiful. It smells beautiful. It's just something different, you know, just taking your paper to the next step. So these here, I've done a few because I've got a few journals that I'm working on at the moment that I wanted to put these in. You can see different, you know, like this is my first attempt. So I've taken basically it right to the edge. You don't have to, you can have bits of, you know, the paper, so the original paper showing through if you want to. I've taken it right to the edge pretty much because I sort of, I'm still learning, don't really know what I'm doing. And this is the back side, so you can see where the wax is there. And then I've just sort of dulled it down a little bit more, only because I don't know, you know, like I might not use these for envelopes completely, but also when I do make these into envelopes, you will see this bit here. So I'll dull that down a little bit more with some ink. So that's those. There, you can really see the difference with those. And same thing, you can see through it. Whereas here, you can't. So I just wanted to show you how they come up. So same thing, these, I'll be using these in some journals that I've got coming up. You can noticeably see the difference. I think you can on camera. Yeah, you can on camera. But when you put something under it, you can definitely see that you can see through. And this is the original, so you can't see anything through that one. So same thing, I've pretty much taken them straight to the edge. And I don't think you have to do that. So I've just been playing around. And this is just another one. This one, I thought this looked very like Tim Holtz paper. This is just from the Graphics Fairy. So you can see the difference there as well with those. It's fun. It's, I don't know, I hate ironing, but this is the best fun I've had with an iron in a long time. So what I've done is and we won't do all of these, of course. I've printed off a heap of papers that I think that I would like to probably make into some envelopes just to have in my stash. And then I saw Floshy May Designs had some wallpaper. I love wallpaper. Can't seem to find any here where I live, vintage wallpaper. So I took advantage and bought some a printable digital prints from her shop. I'll try and remember to link that below as well. So I thought we might, so I've done two just so that we can see the difference when they're done. So I thought I might have a little bit of a play around with those. So these are her vintage wallpaper digitals. They're just beautiful. And then I just printed quite a few others off the Graphics Ferry. I'm a premium member. I've got a premium membership, sorry. So I've just printed off a few different ones there just to have a play around. I just thought this would be interesting to see how this shows up. And I just thought I might even try one of my own tea dyed or coffee dyed papers as well, and we'll see how that comes up. So we've got lots to play with there. So I'll get straight into it. As I said, I will link Gina's video down below. She probably explained things a lot better. So I've just gone and bought myself a very cheap $7.50 iron from Kmart, and I've put it on. I played around with the heat. I put it on quite low and it didn't do anything, and I've basically set it, I don't know whether you can see, midway. So it's on in between nylon and silk. I've just found that that works quite well, because I think if you put it too high you can burn it. So you've got your wax pellets. I'm just working on my table where I do my journals anyway, but I've commandeered an old towel from the linen cupboard, so this will be now relegated to beeswax. And I did it straight onto the towel the other day, and it went off onto the towel, and I thought, I think I remember Gina saying put some wax-proof paper down. I've got some baking paper, so this is the first time I've used baking paper with it as well, so we'll see what happens. So let's get into it. So basically all you do is, and you don't use a lot of it, you just sprinkle your pellets over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, whatever this is, I'm going to leave this one as it is. Where it melts, it melts. So you just place your iron on top of the wax pellets, and you can see it melts, and just drag your iron, and that just takes the wax on your page. So this one, I've got quite a few pellets here. This will probably pretty much cover the whole page. So you can see what's happening there. It's all melting, and the smell is just beautiful. So you just drag it, just drag your the wax, so you can see that all those pellets that I use there, and I've pushed some off to the side here. I mean, obviously that's going to happen. So you just put them on. And just iron away. And it doesn't take long for the sheets to dry once it's all melted. So you can see, just grabbing the other sheet there, you can see the difference there already. You can see how transparent that is. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that to the side to dry, and we'll do another one. So I'm just not sure, this baking paper, so I can feel wax on the back of on this now, so I just don't know how this is going to react. As I said, this is the first time I've used the baking paper on the back. The other day I just used just a towel, as I said, and it's obviously sort of soaked into the towel. So this one, we'll do this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to iron the top and just see, yeah, see, so that wax reactivates obviously and melts through. Now I don't like particularly that look, so we're going to add a few pellets onto this again. So I think, you know, you could play around and you could get all these different effects with this. It's and you just don't know what you're going to get each time, which is fun. That's what I mean. It's the most fun I've had with an iron in a long time. You should see my ironing basket. It's just ridiculous. And I've got to the stage at the moment where I just wash and wear the same clothes again because they don't need ironing. So we were always brought up that you don't leave the house, or you don't even around the house, you don't wear anything that's unironed. So I'm very aware of that. It's funny, isn't it, how things just get ingrained in your mind or in your brain from your parents. Hence my huge ironing basket. Okay, so that's, let's see if I can pick up a bit of that wax on the back there and just go on the corner. So that's, yeah, okay. So the wax on the underneath on the baking paper, you can reactivate that and it'll just pick up. Okay. So that is that one. You can see a noticeable difference with that. So pop that to the side to dry as well. So I'm interested to see what this one comes up like. So this is just from the Graphics Ferry as well. So what I'm going to do probably with this one, or try, so as I said, I'm still trying to work out, you know, quantities, how much to use, how little to use. I might just, whatever I've got on here, I might just leave that as it is, because this is this paper's like, pretty grungy, shabby grungy, I don't know what you'd call it, but yeah, it's sort of got all your various textural looks about it. So I haven't, on my previous ones, I actually cut the white away because I just wasn't sure. As I said, it was the first time I've ever done this. I wasn't sure, you know, how it would cut or anything like that. So, but it cuts, it's just like paper. Once it's dry, it's just like normal paper. So I just, I thought I'll cut these after. Save putting you through the pain of me cutting everything. So what I've done then is I've just gone back over the paper and just, I didn't want a thick coverage of wax here where you could see that the wax hadn't gone. I just wanted it just a little bit, just so that it sort of blends it all together. So where's the original of that one? Sorry guys, just trying to, maybe I only printed one out of that one. Oh no, here it is. And so that's the original there. So that's fun, isn't it? I think it's fun. So what I might do is I'm going to, actually I'll do, I found this black and white one on Graphics Ferry as well, which I absolutely love this. So I thought I'll just see how that one comes up as well. If anyone has done this before and they've got any hints, or if they think that I'm doing it totally wrong, as I said, I've never done this before, so I'm just was inspired by Gina and just thought I'm going to give it a go, and so I'm just sort of experimenting and finding things out as I go. But yeah, if you've got any hints or tips, by all means, please pop it down in the comments. I'm always happy to get constructive criticism. It's just so much fun. It's just, you know, just seeing it, your paper change from your printed version into something, you know, giving it a new life. So that's fun too. I've got wax dripping everywhere. Okay, so you can see the difference there. You can see the original through that, so you can see. So that's a lot of fun, heaps of fun. All right, so I'm going to stop the camera now. I'm going to pop them to dry, and I'm just going to finish off a few more sheets, and I'll come back and then we'll just make some really simple envelopes. As I said, you probably already know how to do these, so it's pretty much just a craft with me today. I've been working on a new range of journals, so it's very exciting, but I've been working on them for months, so I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel with them. So I just needed a break today just to do something a little bit different, because you get caught up in, you get a little bit stale when you're doing much the same thing all the time. So that's why I thought I'll have a play, and I've got orders to put together to post. And yeah, so today's a bit of a play day and a catch-up day on all the behind the scenes stuff. So I'll stop the camera now, and what I'll do is I'll come back and then we will just make some envelopes. See you soon. Okay, I'm back. So I have had the best hour ironing ever and listening to Michael Bublé. Time just got away from me. So I ironed, waxed, whatever you want to say, all these papers plus more. It was so relaxing, and I just love the effect, and the house smells beautiful now. So I just wanted to share with you what they look like. And I did say I wanted to try some of my coffee dye paper and see what they turned out like. Absolutely love it. Oh, I'm so excited. There's just so much potential, what can be done with these. So this is what the paper, I mean, obviously there may be a variance, because, I mean, this is made from the same mix as this was. But this is what it looked like before. And this is what it looked like once I've put the beeswax on. How beautiful is that? Absolutely love that. And there's another one that I've done. And they just feel amazing. And it actually feels like it strengthens the paper a little bit. I don't know. This one's a little bit rough on the underneath. It probably could probably melt that a little bit more. That was just picking up the excess on the wax paper. So this is how they all turned out. I'll just get rid of that one. Some I've done right to the edge, some I haven't. Some I've left blotchy like this. I've just sort of done whatever and just played around. So this one's got a lot of, it's better, you can see from the back, the original paper showing. I think it's just, whatever you want to do and whatever you feel comfortable with. So these are just Graphics Fairy. I love them all. I absolutely love them all. So yeah, so you can see from the back. These black and white ones, they're beautiful as well. And that's the Floshy May vintage wallpaper ones. So one thing that I did learn from all of this was, I mean, obviously don't use steam. I didn't use steam, but if you use this base plate here, the bottom of your iron, rather than the point, and leave it sit until you can feel the wax has melted, and then in circular motions just move your wax slightly. I just found originally I was going like this with the front point, and it was just leaving, lines. I mean, it's easy. You just put more pellets down and melt it, but it just gives you a nice overall effect, and it's just, you don't have to go over it again. You just use that, the bottom of your iron, mid-heat, no water, no steam, and just play, guys. It's just so much fun. So I'm just going to pop this iron, which is still relatively warm, out of the way. And I thought what we'd do is just make a depending on time, maybe just 1 envelope or 2 envelopes, just show you. These are, as I said, very, very easy envelopes to make. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can still do this. You don't have to have a sewing machine to do it. You can just use glue. So I'm actually going to make one with the coffee dye paper. I absolutely love that. So just dragging my machine over as well. You may not be able to see. Let me have a look. My cord's just not quite. We might be able to get there. You're not going to see much anyway. So basically, I'll get that out of the way for a minute. You can you can tell where you iron the wax on, so it's a little bit shinier than the back, I guess, or it's a little bit flatter. You can tell. You'll be able to tell because I don't know whether the camera's bringing up. There's a little bit of residue there. I don't know whether that's because I use wax-proof paper, because the first time I did it, I didn't have that, but the excess wax probably soaked into the towel. As I said, if anyone's got any hints, I'm more than happy to hear them. So basically all I do, so this is just an A4 sheet of paper. You can do this with any size paper. Okay, so that's interesting. I just was wondering how that would go. Okay, so the wax obviously creases, cracks. I am okay with that. I'm just having a look to see. The paper doesn't seem to have torn as such, so I just fold up, no measurements, just fold up to whatever, you don't have to fold up this high. You can fold it up to here and have a larger top flap if you want to. I'm just sort of eyeballing it and just doing, there's no rules with this one. I'm cutting a divot using a 1 3/8 inch circle punch. Same thing, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then I'm just going to fold this down for the flap. I'm just checking that out again. So that's just the wax that has cracked. And as I said, that's fine with me. I think that adds to the whole look, the whole age look. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around. So I'm going to leave that, open up the flap, leave this as it is, and I'm going to start sewing from this corner, and I'm going to go all the way around to close this envelope up. Now, if you want to, you can ink this edge, which, as you can see, I've got coffee dye sitting on the edge there. So that shows that up, but just where the divot is that I've cut out, I might just give that a little bit of ink, just so it's all uniform. I'm just standing up at the moment just so that I can show you guys what it looks like. So you can see that defines that divot there a bit. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to leave the flap open, and I'm just going to zigzag from this corner all the way around 4 sides. Okay, so I'll just do that. What I might do actually is just pause the video because it'll be pretty noisy otherwise, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. So Michael and I, we've been singing along together and sewing envelopes together. So I've just grabbed these few here that I've done. I haven't trimmed off any of the threads or anything just yet, so I like to have my threads hanging. So I'm just going to cut them. All right, move my bin back over here. So as you can see, I've sewn around all of these. Some of them I've inked up the divot, some I haven't. I just thought I'd keep this one as it is. Sewn all around. They're just beautiful. So easy to do. But each time you get something different. One thing that I have worked out, and I think that I will do differently next time is I'm going to ditch the baking paper, and I'm just going to do it straight onto a towel, because there's just this residue, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just this one here is I did on the towel, and there's no residue. You can feel the difference. So I like that feel more so than that. I'm going to use these though. There's nothing wrong with them. As you can see, this one here I've cut down, so you don't have to, you're not limited to your A4 size of paper. I've just cut it in half and then just done a smaller envelope, and they're so cute. Obviously, you know, if you're worried about direction, get a print that's non-directional. So this is a map. It doesn't really matter. You can't really tell too much that it's sort of the wrong way around. So these, I just want to show you these that I've sewn together. I absolutely love the coffee dyed paper done. Just beautiful. Absolutely love them. And that's just one of the black and white ones. I didn't divot that, forgot to, but I can do that already. Can still do that. You don't have to. I just like to put that in my envelopes, and I've done that off center. Oh well, it's an original. So that's just a few that I have sewn together. So you can leave that as it is. Let's have a think about this. Let's do this little one, and to do as a closure, what you can do is, let me just get so sometimes what I do is, just for a closure, is I just get a label or something similar. So we might use something like this. And just ink around that. I'm just trialing out this silicone mat here too, guys. If it's too distracting color wise, just let me know, and I'll just go back to my old board. I just found this the other day, and it doesn't move on the table, which is what I like, because I've got my son's old computer desk and it's uneven, and the mat that I had kept moving and hitting where it's uneven, and it was annoying. So this is good because it stays in place, and I know where I've got to work, particularly when I'm doing videos. So all I'm doing is just adding a bit of glue only halfway down this label, and I'm just going to pop it in the middle of the envelope, and just hold that down just so that it adheres. And then you've just got a little tuck there that closes up that envelope there. So that's really, really easy way, easy and quick. See how easy that is? Just fold it. You can decorate the front, you can do all sorts of things. So maybe we'll just do a little bit. I've got nothing out really organized, sorry. What if I've got a heap of Tim Holtz pieces that, when I've got card left over, I tend to sort of just stamp the excess, because I'm just finding that I've got so many scraps. I'll just show you a few of mine. I've got this huge basket, chockers of scraps, and that's only one bit of my scraps. So I'm finding now what I do is, when I'm working and I've got scraps laying around, before I finish up, I will get out some stamps. And Tim Holtz stamps are beautiful because you've got all different shapes and sizes and that sort of thing. So I find that I just stamp a heap of stamps and then cut them out later. Like, I take this sometimes out when I'm watching telly, when I'm tired and I don't feel like doing too much of anything, and I just cut these out as I go. So we might use something like that, and maybe something like that. You can see that's just a piece of coffee dye paper that I had, and I've got a label stamp, so I've just stamped that. The only thing with this mat is everything does stick to it. I'm just going to take that one out as well. I just need something to get underneath it to pick them up. Okay. So I'll just put my glasses on so I can see. So really what I wanted to show you today was just the beeswax and how just to sew together a really simple envelope. So just, you don't have to have an envelope maker. If you don't, you can certainly get some really nice envelopes just by folding your pieces of paper. I'm just going to punch the corners of this ticket. It's raining here today. It's quite cool. I've got the heater on again. We've been pretty lucky. I think I said this last video, but we have been pretty lucky weather-wise here. Toowoomba's known for being a very cold place to live. August is normally really bad. It's really, really cold and windy, so it's worse to come, I think. Okay, so you can do anything. I'm just going to do just a quick collage on the front there, just getting some cheesecloth. I love cheesecloth. I use it on everything, I think. So I'm just trying to, I've just really roughly cut a piece of cheesecloth, and I want it sort of to go under all of my elements. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to glue. I don't tend to glue the cheesecloth because I add enough glue to whatever I'm putting on top for it to seep through. So put this one down first. I'm just going to add a little bit of ink around there. Pop that one down there. Now this cheesecloth, I will actually, once these elements have adhered down to the envelope, and once they're dried, I will just pull that cheesecloth a bit just to sort of, so there's no definite edges. A little bit excited with the glue there. So I'm just rubbing that off. And then I just thought maybe I might add this one as well. And put another little bit of cheesecloth underneath that. And you're probably thinking, oh wow, that's so excessive, that amount of cheesecloth. But as I said, I like to have more than not enough, and I will be actually, oh, don't want that there. I will be actually, oh, I've got it everywhere, pulling that cheesecloth so that it frays more and we don't have a definite cut edge. And just don't drop everything. Hopefully that'll be enough glue on there to sit on there. So it just gives it, you know, another layer. So I haven't got enough glue on there. It's not grabbing the cheesecloth. So what I'll do is, because I'll use my art glitter glue and just get in under there because it's got the longer nozzle, and I'll just add some glue there like that. So you sort of get the idea. I will just gently pull. So you can see it's giving you that frayed edge. This is probably going to, it's not dry enough yet. When you're pulling it, when you've just glued it down, you've got to be careful because you just end up moving all your elements that you've just glued down. And if you've got, I don't know whether this silicone mat and I are going to become friends. Stuff everywhere. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just trimming a bit of that cheesecloth away just so that you can see the words that say this side up, and I just rough it all up. And then you've just got a little collage on the front of your envelope. And that's the back. If you wanted to, you can add more here. So it's just a very simple envelope to make, and I can just see a bit of excess hanging here, which is really minuscule, but it's just annoying me. So I just think they're beautiful, easy, and that beeswax is, so you can do it, if you don't have beeswax, do it with just your normal paper. If you've got beeswax, you know, do some of these, and you can pop your bits and pieces inside there, and you can still get a sneaky peek of what's inside. So I just think that's a beautiful element to your journals. I will ink around that. I'm not going to bore you with that now, but I will ink around all of those sides just to sort of define that a bit more. So that's one. And as I said, I'm just in love with this coffee dyed paper that I've put the beeswax on. Now, as you can see, I've sewn with the paper up this way through my machine, and on the back you might see just where the needles come through and pushed it through the back. If you don't like that look where you can see, you know, white bits, I normally just go around and just gently rub, and you can see the white bits are going away now. So you're just adding a bit of ink. So that's just the core of the paper coming through from the needle. Sometimes it annoys me, sometimes it doesn't. So just do that. And then the same thing, I'm going to ink around this whole thing once I've decorated it. So I thought I might just maybe add a little bit of lace. Let me just grab, I've got this little container here that sits on my desk that it's a catch-all for all the leftover bits of textile that I use. Okay, so I don't really know what I'm going to do, but let's just have a play. Away. I just need to have a quick drink. Sorry, guys. As I said, I'm just playing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is that obvious? So I wish I knew how to speed up over this selection process, just so I don't bore you guys to tears, but I think I like that better. Excuse me. Yep, I'm going to add that, and I think I'm going to add, what else have we got in here? What else have we got? A little bit of, well, that's pretty. A little bit of sari silk left over from one of my projects, so I'm going to use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue all this down just so that we don't get the stitching through that side. So I'm just going to glue this sari silk first to the lace, and then some of the excess glue will go through onto the envelope. Let me just see which is the right side. That's the right side. Just going to pop that there like that, and then pick it up again and just place it where I think I want to put it. And I'm just going to apply pressure then and just hope that the glue goes through. Same thing, you can just go through, pick it up, lift the lace and glue it as you need to if it hasn't adhered. Hasn't adhered at all. Okay. I've got thread hanging from the glue. Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm just going to push that down. So I'm thinking I might add a bit of something here and add a bit of maybe sari silk to close that up. Going to stick that over like that so you can see a little bit of the stitching. Okay, so that's stuck there now. I may even go back in and, no, I don't think I will. I was going to say I might go back in and sew over top of that, but I don't think I will. I quite like it, just like that. Okay, so how simple is that? Same thing, I might add a number or something. Just having a little bit of a scout around in here. This is just some Tim Holtz stamps that I've used as well. I haven't stamped them very straight. I'd be kinder to myself if I did. Just going to ink these, and I'm going to add a little bit of cheesecloth to here. So just going to put that there, and then I'm going to glue this number down. Stick that down there. And what am I going to put here? I think I might put, let me just see if I've got one of those vintage brads. These are antique brads from Stampin' Up. I love these. Need a bigger one, I think, so we might go with that one. And what we'll be doing is we're going to just put a hole Yep, I think that's pretty. So I think I've got a little hole punch here. If I can get in there. So I think about there. Am I going to be able to get in there? Okay, so same thing. I'm off center a bit there, but I mean, it doesn't matter. What does it matter? So I'm going to open that up. And I will put something over that just to hide those prongs. So it's looking quite pretty. So same thing with the cheesecloth as I did before. I'm just going to just gently pull that so that it roughs it up a little bit. And I'm going to get some thread just to pop in there to have that closed. So this is just my book binding. I think I'm just going to go with, this is waxed linen thread. And I think I'm just going to use this. So all I do normally is I just go underneath and tie this off a couple of times in a double knot. I'll take it up to the top and tie it again. I mean, you could use sari silk or something as well. I just didn't want to take away from this here. So I'm just going to snip that excess away and then just tuck the tail underneath. And then I'm just going to pull a length of this off, get that out of the way. I've folded all that up accidentally. And then you can just tie that around, wrap that around, sorry, your brad. And there you have a beautiful envelope. And put bits and pieces in there. So really, really easy. Let me just see where. I've just got some bits and pieces here that I'm put aside to sew for some journals that I've got coming up. So just so that you can see, so it gives you a little bit of a hint of what's inside, so you can see a beautiful card in there. So that's it, guys. I won't make any more. You get the idea. I love this coffee dye paper. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, I think. And you can just decorate however you like. I'm just going to pop this down. I just think you can see that hot pink mat's really distracting. It is for me anyway. So that's the coffee dyed one that we've done beeswax on, and I've just decorated. And then that's just a printed one that I've done. And I don't know if I've got anything small enough handy just to pop in there so you can see the transparency of it. So just to give you an idea. So that's just how transparent it is. I just love it. And just with an easy closure, just a tuck there. Okay. I'm going to leave that with you guys. If you have beeswax give it a go. So much fun. I'm so excited. And as I said, I'm going to do more of these coffee dye ones. Love, love, love them. If you don't, these are just an easy way to do some envelopes too. You don't need an envelope maker. And you can do them in all different sizes. One thing that I also wanted to say was if you like curved edges, sometimes I will do a curved edge, and I don't know, this one I might be able to do it on. I'll do it on this one. So just if you are sewing, just don't go right up to the edge, and you can curve your edge so you can see a nice curved edge there. After you've sewn, it's easier than trying to go around a curve with your sewing machine. So there you can have a curved edge. Just don't go straight to the edge, as I said, because you'll cut into your sewing. So that's something that you can do if you want a curved edge. All right, so I'm gonna leave it with you. I hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, please take care, and I hope you get a little bit of crafting time in. Bye-bye.